Hello, hello, and welcome to my channel. This is Elise here, Plan with Elise, and today we are going to be doing a plan with me for my Patreon member, Allie. But first, I wanted to share with you some sticker books we'll be using today, and this is a brand new release from Mojo Jojo Plans, which is going to be on Friday, October 3rd at 9 a.m. Mountain. We have scalloped jewel tone boxes and jewel tone journaling boxes. There's also going to be mini jewel tone dashboard boxes and mini jewel tone vertical boxes. Because I don't use a mini, I opted to not receive those because I didn't want the sticker books to go to waste. I'd rather them go to someone who will use them or to have more stock to sell to customers who will use them. But those two sticker books will also be available. They'll have the same colors as you'll see here, but in mini dashboard and mini vertical sized. So let's take a look. Of course, code Elise10 always gives you a discount at Mojo Jojo Plans if you will be shopping. So jewel tone journaling boxes. So with journaling boxes, the idea is that these are going to have some nice light gray lines for you to journal with, or if you just like lined boxes in your planner, these are the ones for you. So we have the full boxes, the double boxes, and the sidebars in this like jewel tone red and orange, then the full sidebar boxes. Then we have the yellow and the green, double sidebar, full sidebar. Then this more forest green and kind of like a lighter Kelly green, double boxes, sidebar, full sidebar, and an extra. And then you have some extra sidebars, and then this kind of like rainbow, but of the jewel tone. Then you have a pale yellow and a navy blue. And then we're going to have this really pretty, kind of like a denim blue and like a plum, kind of a combination between a plum and a burgundy. Now we have a darker purple and a brighter fuchsia. And I go through these quickly because it's the same stickers, just different colors. And then the extra sidebars and the rainbow one. Now the final set is going to be that rainbow jewel tone. If I could get this other page. And there you go. So that is jewel tone journaling boxes. And like I said, it's great for journaling, but it's also great if you just like having line boxes in your planner, which many people do. The next sticker book that I have is scalloped jewel tone boxes. So it's going to have the same types of colors, but these are going to be, as you guessed it, scalloped boxes, which we haven't seen a new scalloped boxes design in a while from Mojo Jojo Plans. And I know that these are really popular. So we have the same colors, of course, because it's the jewel tone, but when you take these off, these have a scalloped edge. So they're really fun to add a little bit of extra flair in your planner. And you have the smaller boxes here too. So we'll have the reds and the pinks, double boxes, full sidebar headers, and then some with outlines as well. Then we have yellow and like a mustard. So all the different sizes that you need in your planner. Then we have the greens. It's a little bit harder to see right now, but these are different greens. I feel like at first glance they look the same, but we do have the two different colors here. It's easier for me to see looking directly at them. I don't know how they're coming across on camera. And then you have the pale yellow and the Kelly green. And then the denim blue and the dark teal, or the navy blue. This is navy. I think denim is the next one, maybe. Maybe not. Now we have the plum and that like burgundy color. Maybe we pass the denim. There you go. So the only color that this doesn't include is the like rainbow style that you have back here. So kind of that like ombre rainbow. So these are the 2 sticker books, but again, there's also mini jewel tone dashboard boxes and mini jewel tone vertical boxes. While I like to think that all the spreads I create for my Patreon members are special, I'm going to note that today is an extra special spread. What we are doing today is a spread for Allie, which I already mentioned, but this is going to be in memory of Allie's mom, who passed away a few years ago, but this week is her mom's birthday. And ironically, her mom and my dad, who also passed away, have the same birthday. So Allie told me a couple of things about her mom so that I could make a spread that honors her memory and different things that she loved. So one of the things that I have here is blooming faith. Allie's mom was very strong in her faith as a preacher's wife. And so we're going to use some of these stickers. So I chose these stickers here. Allie mentioned that her mom's favorite color was turquoise. Now, I gotta tell you, I have looked through so many of my sticker books today, and I don't know that there's stickers that I have anyway that have turquoise, but I felt like doing another shade of turquoise, like this really pretty teal, would be really nice here. So that's how I'm kind of incorporating the color. And as I continue with this spread, I'll tell you the other things that we are incorporating here. So Allie uses a big vertical for journaling. So this isn't going to be the same style vertical that I use for my planner, where it's just a lot of bullet points and checklists, but we are going to kind of talk about how we adjust this for journaling. So this pen doesn't want to work. Let's try another one. I typically have a backup of these pens. There we go. This one's better. Just needs a little bit of a cleanup on it. And we're going to try to cover as much as I can over here. Okay. And then let's do the same thing over here. Now, Allie's mom's birthday is October 8th, which, like I said, is the same as my dad, which is so interesting to me. So what I want to do is a little happy birthday nod to her mom here. So, that didn't cover as well as I thought it did over here. We're going to use Alpha Basics Volume 3 by Kelva Plan. And I think I'm going to take these stickers because they have that same like color as the florals. And we're just going to do something like kind of like small here and soft. It doesn't need to be a huge birthday because I think that I can't speak for Allie. I can speak for myself. A parent's birthday, a parent who passed away's birthday, let me be more specific, is I almost want to say bittersweet, but I don't know if that's the right word. As someone who lost my dad 20 years ago, so October 8th will be the 20th birthday without him. He would have been 68 because he passed away when he was 48. I want to celebrate him on a birthday, and I try to every year, but I think that the hardest part is thinking of all of those, years lost. And like, as my, mom and my uncles, like my dad's brothers, as everyone gets a little bit older, when we lose someone, no matter what age they were, when they pass, it's sort of like frozen in time. Like what would those years have looked like? How would we have celebrated? So I do try to celebrate my dad every year on his birthday and try to do something that he would have done, or something that would have made him happy. So I think that it's important to still celebrate. So we're going to do happy birthday there. And then I thought I would take just some bigger Alpha Basics and just kind of do mom here. So again, I'm talking about my dad, but this is for Allie's mom. I don't want to speak to someone else's experience with loss. I can only speak to my own. But I think that that's pretty. Okay. I like how that looks. All right, now let's come in with our first set of journaling elements. So I thought that this green would be really pretty, even though like when you're looking at it next to each other, these aren't exact matches, but I do think that they're really pretty for this type of space, even if they're not the exact match. So my thought here was to take one of these. This is going to be more of a like trust the process type of video. And actually, before I grab those florals, because florals are not Allie's favorite, we're going to be including them here, but I know that they're not always what she wants in her spread. So I'm going to put this box down. Before I put it down, though, I'd like to cover up the line. Covering up the line isn't a necessary step. It's just something that I like to do. So we're going to put this here. And then to honor her mom's faith, we're going to add in some of these faith elements here. So let's put that, and then, and just to specify, when I say that florals are not Allie's favorite, she doesn't want them in every spread, but I know that every once in a while florals are okay. I would not have created a spread with florals for her if she did not like them. So I want to reiterate that. I've been making custom spreads for Allie for a long time, and I feel like at this point I kind of know what's okay to include and what's not. All right, that looks really pretty. And then I think that we'll include something like this, whoops, like this over here, just kind of creating little elements here and there. Now, I did grab a stencil. I know that this has lines on it, but I also grabbed a stencil. This is from Chrissy Ann Designs. And let's see here. I did cover up this stencil so that it matches Happy Planner size a little bit better. But I think that we can come in with some lines and take off one of those pieces of washi just to give Allie that space to journal. Sorry, I'm trying to be very methodical about how I do this. Yeah, that looks really nice. Okay, now, what do I want to do next here? So one of the other things that Allie mentioned to me was how much her mom loved to travel. So I grabbed Live Love Posh's Travel Chic sticker book. I also realized that my phone was starting to tilt. Sorry about that. With the new iPhone, because I got the one of the new phones, I noticed that with the extra weight on the right side with the camera, it's with my case, it was starting to tilt. And so I think I just have to remember to take my case off when I film. But in case you're curious, I get questions about this case all the time in person. You guys don't usually see my case. This is called a flaunt case, and I love it because it's square. And I just really love the way that it holds. I've been using flaunt cases now for a little over a year, or cases. I mean, just this case and the one for the previous phone, but I really like the case. And I don't want to jinx myself, but I'm someone who drops my phone all the time. And this case is great. Okay. Allie had mentioned that her mom loved to travel, especially some mission trips that she would go on. So I really wanted to incorporate travel elements here. So I thought that we could do something like this right here. And then I wanted to pull out journaling boxes again because on Allie's mom's actual birthday, which is Wednesday, I thought that we could do a box for Allie to write down like memories, or actually, you know what? Let's do scalloped boxes. Memories or reflection or just something very specific for her mom. So we're going to put this over here. And then I'm going to come back in with my stencil here and add in a little bit more journaling space. The reason that I put washi over this, I don't remember if the video when I put washi on it has gone live or not yet. I'm a little off on my schedule, but it just allows you to stop the checklist where you want to, or the line, although now I'm realizing I went all the way over, so now we have to fix that. It allows you to stop it where you want to instead of going all the way to the edge, but I messed this up a little bit. Hopefully Allie's okay with that. I don't mind when I mess up my own stuff. I feel bad when I mess up someone else's. Aside from that first one though, I think the rest are okay. All right, now let's add in something else here. Let's just do maybe this floral like right over here, just to kind of corner that off. And then while I'm here, I'm going to need my punch, which is not where it's supposed to be, which is kind of a problem because I need to punch this so that Allie can pop it into her planner. Okay, I will hopefully find my punch, but in the meantime, with little bits like this, you can just kind of pop in. It's really only this spot. You can use a small precision scissor like this to just kind of cut around. Of course, it's much easier to use a punch, but mine seems to be hidden somewhere. Okay, and now it's perfectly fine to use. Before we do anything else, let's get this dated. I feel like that's probably a good step because I'm just kind of going off memory of what days everything are this week. So I have Caliber Plans Dated Basics Volume 5. And let me first choose the date colors. I feel like purple could be pretty here because we're using purple. So we're gonna do this. We have 6, 7, 8. Too many sticker books are on my desk right now. 9, 10. I went a little overboard with the correction tape. I may have a way to fix it. We're gonna see. One of the reasons that I tend to actually use pen instead of correction tape for these kinds of things, but I did not this time. Feel a little like off my mojo right now with my video style. Okay, I was thinking that maybe we could put this in, but I think I might have a problem with it. Let's try. Here's what we're gonna try. Let's pop these up for a sec. I don't know if it's gonna look weird or not. That's my concern. And I don't want to damage the stickers. So I'm gonna go from the right side and we're gonna put these in a spot that will cover the correction tape. But then the trick is going to be getting these to kind of match up to each other. They're not going to match perfectly, but I think on most of the spots, they're going to end up getting covered by the date dot anyway. So we have like the 12th, 11th, 10. I think that looks pretty. So now I can come back in and lift these and continue. Let me move this over. This one feels a little bit thicker than the others. Or did I just put it down in the wrong spot? No, I did. I put it down in the wrong spot. I'll put the 9 here. Then let's cut this. And we'll also want to now cut out this part. Get this out. if you cut all the way through, you can then just kind of go around in a circle for the rest of it. Of course, it's a much more time-consuming process than using a punch. But we're in a bind right now, so this is the way that we're going to do it. Okay. By the way, this sticker book that I'm using from Live Love Posh, what's the name of the sticker book? Blooming Faith. You can save using code at least 10. I did confirm before sitting down to film this video that the sticker book is available. So now we're going to come back in and pop these up. It looks like it's going to be easiest to kind of bend the page to pop up first versus trying to like peel it off. So now we'll come back in here and let's start right from the edge. Don't worry, I won't cut this one on camera. I'll do it off camera. I feel like that took longer than I expected. And we're going to continue this way. It's just easier for me to do upside down. I feel like I get a better angle on it. And then we just need one more. Okay. I think that a big vertical is a really good journaling layout if you want to use like planner pages and not an actual journal for journaling. Oop, I lost one. Here it is. Nope, that's not what I needed. I just feel like it's a really nice big layout where you can add a lot of decor. You could also do memory keeping in this layout. Okay, that looks really pretty. Took some time, but it looks pretty. And then of course we need an October. So let's go through and see which October I want to use. I think we'll keep things simple and use this here. Okay, that looks good. Now let's continue. I haven't actually used a lot of these journaling boxes, which I wanted to do. So I want to focus on those, but I also want to create a consistency over here. So, oh my goodness, these big things tend to curl up on each other. It's been almost a week since I've filmed a decorative planning video. And I feel like every time I go more than maybe 2 days between filming decorative videos, it takes me a minute to like get my mojo back. So if I seem a little off in my decor, that's probably why. So I apologize, but sometimes life gets in the way, as it has lately. All right, now that we have this side somewhat finished for where we are, I'm not sure that we're entirely finished yet, I want to continue. So one of the things that I meant to add on the left side and didn't is one of these really pretty floral wreaths. And then I think we're going to take this as well. And maybe we'll grab a dark purple because I think that dark purple would look really pretty with the date dots that we used. So we could do something like this would be really nice. Yeah, let's do that. And just kind of creating a little bit of space here, because since Allie isn't using this as a to-do list function, she's using it as a journal function, we can get away with a little bit more kind of going over the lines than I would do if I were setting up my own vertical planner for the week. I need to get this over here too. Sometimes a light cover up is fine because once you write in it, you're not going to see any line through it anyway. And then we can do something like this. So over here, we want to cover this part. And then cover here too. This one I want to be a little bit thicker with because that purple is so dark. I'm also thinking that I may switch the scallop on the left side of the page to purple because we don't have any purple on this side. So if I grab this one, let's pop it up. Let's grab a scallop in that same color. And put this over here. Okay, that looks nice. Now let's go back to our travel chic sticker book and let's do another travel quote that honors her mom. I don't want anything that says like me, like I haven't been everywhere, but it's on my bucket list because I want this to be focused on Allie's mom. I think this one's really beautiful. The biggest adventure you can ever take is to live the life of your dreams. I feel like that's a really nice one, especially considering that a lot of Allie's mom's travel was for mission trips. So I think that that would be nice. And let's add in something with it. Plant the good seed. That kind of goes along with the mission trips. So we'll put this here. Let's put this here. Okay, now I want to come back in with my stencil again. And this time be a little bit more careful about where I'm placing it. Give it a little bit of space here. Let's do this. I think I mentioned before, but this stencil is from Chrissy Ann Designs. This is the 7mm line spacing stencil, and I like it. It's pretty sturdy, but what I really like the most is that this is very like perfect for a pen. Sometimes stencils have too much space, and like when you write them down, it gets a little funky. So that's something I really like about this. Okay, what's next? Let's come back to this sticker book and add in, oh no, that's not the sticker book I wanted. I wanted to come back to jewel tone boxes, and I wanted to add in another box somewhere. So I think that we're gonna do a full box, but I'm going to layer it with another bigger floral. Like something like this, I think would be pretty. Maybe more like this. I'm gonna put this over here. I don't want to cover up too much of that box, so I think we're gonna do it this way. And then we'll do this here. And then that line is lined up here, so I'm not really worried about that part. Okay, now we have like little extras, so let's kind of come in with the stamps just to fill in some of that extra room. And then I think that we can probably get away with one more set of double boxes. I feel like especially with journaling, double boxes are a really good choice because it gives you a lot of space. You're not very limited. When I try to journal in a section that's this size, I don't have much room to write. I don't even think I write that big, but it's something that I struggle with. So we're gonna add this in over here. And let's cover this up. Let's pop this in. Then I wanted to take this set that I used on the other side and I thought this would be pretty to put right over here, kind of continuing that pattern. Then we'll come back in with my stencil and we're going to do one set here. and then a little bit more over here. Okay, that looks pretty. Now let's do another travel chic quote. There was another one here that I saw that I was thinking of using before. The world is a book, and those who do not travel read only one page. I also think that this, actually, I'm going to change my mind. I'm going to do this quote: dare to live the life you've always wanted. Because I think that that's the life that Allie's mom would have wanted Allie to live, is the life she's always wanted. And I like this here as a reminder for that. So we're going to put that right here. And then we're also going to bring in a key, because I feel like that is the key, is to live the life that you've always wanted. And then we can come in with maybe like a little bit smaller of a floral over here. Just something right like that. And then we can even add in a little bit right over here. That's pretty. And then we've got a little bit of space here if I wanted to do something with it. So let's see what may fit nicely in that space. I like these stamps because I also feel like stamps signify travel. So I think that that would be really nice. Now I'm going to come back to journaling boxes because I wanted to use a sidebar here as well. I don't want to use the full sidebar. We just want to do a short one right here. And then let's add a nice, pretty, big floral right here, kind of coming out. We'll trim off the edge. And maybe can take that final quote that I was going to include and didn't. This one. And put this right over here. Okay. I think that we're finished. This green, yes, I can admit, is a little bit bright for this, but I also think that it's like a nice pop of color here. I didn't end up adding as many boxes as I thought I would because I was going more focused on like the lines, but I think that for a journaling spread, these line boxes are really nice. So as a reminder, this releases on Friday, October 3rd at 9 a.m. Mountain. Code Elise 10 will give you a discount. There is a special bundle deal with Jewel Tone Basics that's going to include Jewel Tone boxes, Jewel Tone shapes, and Jewel Tone journaling boxes. There's a limited amount of those bundles available, and you can't use my discount code. But if you are interested in grabbing the bundle, you can click my link, which is an affiliate link, and that I will, and with that, I will earn credit. Okay, I'm going to cut this last piece off and finally, hopefully, I found it. Oh my goodness. All I had to do was look right next to me on my bookshelf, and it happened to be there. I could have saved me and you a lot of time. You and me. All right, anyway, I think that's a wrap. Thank you so much for watching and for your support, and I will see you next time.